Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of the latest episode of Outcast, The Road Before Us. So, I've really liked this episode and how I've been liking the series overall, and that it's taken kind of a slow burn approach to what's been going on, and we're kind of getting more and more information, kind of at a nice steady pace. It's not too slow, not too fast. And it really kind of set up kind of where we're going, kind of, for the rest of the season, because it's like, this is kind of where we figure out that there's a bigger problem here than what Reverend Anderson and Kyle initially thought. So they pretty much are going around to the other people that Reverend Anderson had exorcised to see if any of them are still possessed, because with Mildred, they figured that out after Kyle had touched her and what she was doing pretty much in her interactions with Reverend Anderson. So the first stop off was at this one place to check on this daughter, and they got to talk with the father, and she wasn't going to college like she should be, and was like living on the streets. And Reverend Anderson kind of got ticked off with Kyle because he kind of took the thunder a little bit and was like asking pretty deep questions about like what's going on with her, if she's looked weird, acted weird, all that kind of stuff, and like, asked him to apologize in the car, but it's like, listen, I understand that you believe in this stuff and everything, and you believe that you've exercised these people, but we need to know what's going on. So they're going back to other people as well. They met this one dude who owned this pet shop, Brian, and Kyle maneuvered himself into a way and was able to touch him. And he, of course, burned and everything, and pretty much signifying that he was possessed. He even looked sick and kind of out of sorts, like he wasn't sure what was going on. And he had the shotgun, and they like bugged out, which set off Kyle to be like, listen, I've gotta talk to my wife. I've gotta see if she's still possessed. So then he was like calling Megan to kind of see if she'd be able to set up something to talk with his I don't know if ex-wife or they're still married technically, his wife Allison, to make sure she wasn't possessed. And Megan's like, nope. And they had, of course, sat outside the house, and she knew that he had been sitting outside there. And as Megan went and kind of talked to her, said, don't you want to talk to him? And she's like, nope. And kind of like brushed that off all the way. Megan kind of looking inside, seeing what's going on, looking in the cabinets to see if she's taking medications and all that. And then we get more information on what kind of happened between Allison, their daughter Amber, and Kyle. Now, we'd seen a little bit of this in her interaction with the daughter, in that the daughter was playing with the dolls and using kind of like this princess representing her, the queen representing the mother, and the king representing father, Kyle. So she talked about like how the queen shouldn't be drinking this black poison because it makes her no fun, and then gets like on the beating and everything that was like going on with her, and then the dad, the king, comes in, stop it, stop it, stop it, and she told her to go to bed, and she's like, I don't want to, pretty much giving toot, and she got really ticked off at her. And we get to learn that like Kyle was usually the calming influence, the kind of one to handle the discipline. And you can see the tension between these two characters, and it's kind of interesting and really kind of very good humanization and characterization, because what they've gone through has been pretty traumatic. And there's going to be some weird communications between characters and hostile communications, because we then see what happened to Allison, like, after the kind of possession incident, that she was really beat up, and that evidently Kyle had, like, beat the demon out, that that's kind of what he needs to do to a degree in order to get them out. Don't know why, but we'll have to see. And she didn't believe it at first, but we've seen her get to this present state. So while that's going on, we also see the police chief is using his skills to pretty much try and like feel out what's going on with his one friend. And of course he's seeing what's going on, like, oh, where's your watch? Oh, want that to get the clasp fixed. And all that kind of stuff, kind of talks to him outside when he's like trying to cut up a tree with a chainsaw, because they've gotten information that like they got people's DNA. One person was missing, so they're like, okay, what happened to her? But she was laying low, but since she was the one pretty much tied to that fingernail, I'm not quite sure that she's not possessed. She might have been laying low, but like to avoid her boyfriend, like what Officer Mark was talking about, but I don't believe that's the whole story. And of course, the police chief's kind of okay at this point, going, okay, if you had a problem, you tell me. If I had a problem, you tell me. All right, let you get back to that. It's like, I mean, I think that he is smart enough to know what's going on and trying to figure out what's going on. So I don't think he'll be caught completely off guard. So we've got all this going on, and then we start getting into kind of the meat territory with demons. We see Sydney get into Kyle's house, kind of looking around. He didn't lay any kind of traps that I know of, but it'll be interesting to see what he's done kind of moving around. He then gets to talk with Mildred, and he's like, what do I call you? So evidently they're kind of more of a hive mentality, and Sydney was talking about how humans like their individuality and all this. And it was really kind of interesting and very kind of enlightening to see what's going on with this. Because we don't have that much information on these demons at this point. So Sydney's talking about like, okay, I've got my task, I've got my job, and Mildred then tries to suck something kind of similar to what other demons have been doing to Kyle. She's like, I had to try. I don't know if I'll survive till the merge. And that's the first that we hear about that. So evidently they've got a plan to, I think, possibly merge their plane of existence with the real world, or merge all the demons into this world and merge with as many bodies as possible. Because this seems to be more like a kind of parasitic kind of takeover in which they need host bodies to survive. And she evidently, well, I call her she because I don't know how demons, like, if they differentiate at all. Her body is wearing out, I guess, is what's going on with her since she's an elderly person. But we'll have to see what's going on with that. So we then see Reverend Anderson and Kyle find Sherry, and she, of course, is possessed, and she's like, you're the one that we are drawn to. We need your light. And she tries to suck again at him, and they're able to beat the demon out. Well, he didn't beat the demon out this time. It voluntarily almost like escaped and tried to like contain him or something. It was like doing a weird kind of thing with him. And then the girl was, of course, in a comatose state at the end of the episode, and that's kind of where we're left off with her. Kyle's like pissed off about it and like, what's the point of helping her like that? And kind of like questioning God and all that. Reverend Anderson has no answers for him. So it'll be interesting to see where they're going with that. And then we get the kind of big thing where Allison's waiting at Kyle's house, and she's talking, like, why did you do it? And what are you protecting me from? And he touches her, and we find out that she is not possessed. Or at least it is, if she is possessed, it's a completely different kind of possession than what we've dealt with so far. But I don't think she's possessed. She might have some kind of weirdness or residual thing from the possession. So didn't tell her that she was possessed or anything, and that's what he was trying to protect her from. And she like left, and it was kind of sad because he's like, I would tell you, but you wouldn't believe me. And overall, I really liked the episode. I'm really excited to kind of see where it's going to be going from there, because I think things are going to really start ramping up. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.